When I was a kid, my aunt and uncle decided to build an extension onto their house. But before the builders could break ground, they found a hole in the exact patch where the extension was supposed to go. Nobody knew what it was or how long it had been there. Nobody asked too many questions either. They just filled it in and got on with the job like it was nothing. But not long after they finished, I started seeing this dog. I was about 3 and I named him Dashen and talked about him constantly. To me, he was a real dog living in the house. Only that there was a problem. Dashen was almost always angry. I couldn't tell you how I knew that at 4 years old, but I was certain of it. My aunt thought it was hilarious. She'd bring it up at every family gathering, laugh about my wild imagination, my little dead dog character I'd apparently invented. Nobody took it seriously. Why would they? I was 4 years old, talking about an imaginary dog living in a room that hadn't existed a year earlier. Then one day we went to visit, and I stopped dead at the front door and told my mum I wasn't going inside. Dashen was angry with me, I said, because I kept telling everyone about him, and I wasn't setting foot in that house. My mum tried talking me down. My auntie came over laughing, ready to prove once and for all that Dashen didn't exist. She had a husky at the time named Harley, big, goofy, loved everyone and everything. She said, "Watch, I'll take Harley inside, he'll walk right through, and you'll see there's nothing there." Harley trotted in exactly how you'd expect. He was completely relaxed and sniffing around like any dog checking out new territory. Then he reached the spot. The exact corner I'd pointed to every single time I ever talked about Dashen. He stopped. All of his 4 feet planted, and his body had gone rigid. His hackles shot straight up along his spine, and he started barking and growling at that one spot like something was standing directly in front of him. My auntie stopped laughing. She called his name, and he wouldn't move, wouldn't stop growling, wouldn't take his eyes off that corner, like whatever he was looking at was still looking back at him. It went on long enough that it stopped being funny to anyone in the room. My uncle came over to see what the noise was. Even my mum, who'd been trying to coax me through the front door 2 minutes earlier, went quiet watching it. Harley wasn't budging, and none of the usual tricks were working. My auntie eventually got him to back out of the room, dragging him more than leading him, and nobody brought Dashen up as a joke again after that. And I never saw him again either. The dog I'd described in exact, consistent detail for over a year, the one my auntie mocked at every single family dinner, was simply gone. If I'm being honest, I think that dog was actually buried there, and for some reason, its ghost was furious. Because why would a 4-year-old make that up? This was 2 years ago. We were sitting at a friend's house, 4 of us, just an ordinary evening hanging out, when another friend called and asked if she could swing by too. She said she'd bring her twin girls along since her husband wasn't home to watch them. The twins were maybe 4 or 5 at the time. We just thought, yeah, that's okay, the more the merrier, and we carried on with our evening, waiting for her to show up. When she got there, she walked in with 3 kids. Right alongside her twins was another girl, older, maybe 7 or 8, wearing a bright red jacket. She walked in with them like she belonged there and settled in near the twins without anyone introducing her or explaining who she was. Without thinking, I turned to our friend and asked who the other girl was. She looked at me, completely confused, like I'd asked her something nonsensical, and she said she only had her 2 daughters with her, just the twins. She thought I was messing with her at first, laughed it off, waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. I described the girl again, the red jacket, roughly how old she looked, standing right there next to her own kids, and her face changed.
She wasn't laughing anymore. She genuinely had no idea who I was talking about. Apparently, only 2 of us in that room could actually see her. Me and one other friend. The other 2 women sitting right there with us, looking at the exact same spot, saw nothing. Me and my other friend looked at each other and just knew. So right there, in front of everyone, we each separately described her. Height, the red jacket, her hair, where exactly she was standing relative to the twins. We matched every single detail. At this point, our friend didn't find it funny anymore either. She kept looking at her own daughters like she might catch something the second time if she looked hard enough. She didn't. The girl stayed near the twins the entire evening, close to them, never wandering off. I wasn't even scared, per se. I was just confused. This had never happened to me before. This little girl in question didn't say anything that I remember and didn't interact with any of us directly. At some point later in the night, I looked over and she just wasn't there anymore. No one saw her leave, and neither me nor my friend could tell you exactly when that shift happened. The other 2 women still bring it up like it's a joke between us, something we cooked up together to mess with everyone that night. But me and my friend never planned what happened that day. I've never seen her again. Not at that friend's house, not anywhere since.
One of the easiest things to lose is your debit card. When I lost mine, it happened in a really mysterious way. I thought I was going insane, maybe. I was at the grocery store trying to pay and reached into my wallet, and it just wasn't there. I remember standing at the register, doing that thing where you check the same pocket 3 times like it's going to magically appear the 4th time. So, I paid with my phone instead, went home and tore through my room. Under the bed, every jacket pocket, old bags I hadn't touched in months, between the couch cushions, the junk drawer where things go to disappear. Nothing. So, I cancelled the card that same night, got a new one in the mail about a week later, and moved on with my life. For a while, I kept half expecting it to show up. I'd find myself checking the same spots again weeks later out of pure habit. My mom even joked at one point that I probably dropped it at the gym and some stranger was out there living my life for a day before the bank shut it down, but that never happened. There was 0 activity on that card till it got cancelled. It had just evaporated. About a year later, I moved out for the first time. It was my first apartment with no roommates and no family. I was packing up an entire childhood bedroom into boxes, so I found things I'd completely forgotten existed. I found a retainer I hadn't worn since middle school, birthday cards from years back, cash shoved in a shoe I'd forgotten about. I was pulling furniture away from walls, vacuuming out corners that hadn't seen daylight in a decade. Meaning that if that card had been anywhere in that room, I would have found it packing up that day. But it didn't turn up once. So, I let it go for real this time. About 2 months into the new apartment, I'd settled into a routine. The excitement of moving into a new place was maybe starting to wear off. On this particular day, it was close to midnight. I'd just gotten out of the shower, hair still dripping onto my shoulders, and I walked into my room, reaching for the light switch. And there it was. Dead center of my carpet, in the open stretch of floor I crossed every single day, getting from my bed to my closet. My old debit card was just sitting there in the middle of empty space. I picked it up eventually and turned it over a few times like it might explain itself. I checked under the bed, behind the dresser, and ran my hand along the baseboards just in case there was some logical explanation I was missing. Nothing. I still have it in a drawer somewhere. Every so often I come across it and wonder where the hell it had been. I mean, I know I can be forgetful, but this was another level of creepy. I post real-life dark stories once or twice every week, so you might want to subscribe so you don't miss anything. I'm Elias, and I'll see you soon.